welcome to Review Every Ship by CitizenCon 2024. The point is to give an update on every ship since some haven't had a video made about them in years. We'll go in depth, but we won't repeat everything on the RSI website. We will link to multiple sources of information either in the description or in a comment. We are moving along with our series on the Anvil manufacturer, and we have arrived at the Anvil Hornet, and it's 7. Yep, that's right, 7 variants. We have the Hornet F7C, $110 standalone, 110 war bond, was the same at concept, cost about $1.5 million in game. Hornet F7CS Ghost, $125 standalone, 125 war bond, was the same at concept, cost about $1.66 million in game. Hornet F7CR Tracker, 140 standalone, 140 war bond, was the same at concept, cost about $1.83 million in game. Hornet F7C Wildfire, 175 standalone, 165 war bond, was the same at concept, cost about $2.25 million in game. Hornet F7CM Super, 180 standalone, 165 war bond, was the same at concept, cost about $2.13 million in game. Hornet F7CM Heartseeker, 195 standalone, 175 war bond, was 175 at concept and cannot be bought in game yet. Then the Hornet F7A, not for sale, but we will discuss it anyway. It was given as a prize, but there is also a way to steal it.
Y'all got the game messed up, huh? You don't steal from a pimp?
The F7C Wildfire and Super Hornet are limited sale only, the Heartseeker is event sale only, and the Ghost, Tracker, and regular Hornet are always available. For the sake of clarity, I will call each of these by their unique names except for the regular Hornet, which I will call the F7C. So I'll just list them. F7C, Ghost, Tracker, Wildfire, Super, Heartseeker, and F7A. To the enemy, it is a weapon never to be underestimated. To allies, it's a savior. The F7C Hornet is the same dependable and resilient multi-purpose fighter that has become the face of the UEE Navy. The F7C is the foundation to build on and meet whatever requirements you have in mind. Through a combination of low-emission drives, low-draw weapons, and void armor technology, which may be the saving grace for this, capable of diffusing scans, the F7CS Ghost is built for the pilot who wants to keep a low profile. The Ghost is capable of slipping past the most ardent of observers to accomplish whatever goal you need to accomplish. Don't worry, we won't ask. If the Ghost is made to hide, the Tracker is made to seek. The F7CR Tracker boasts an advanced radar suite, making it ideal for deep space explorations who require depth and accuracy in their scan packages. Local militia and larger merc units will also repurpose trackers to act as mobile command and control ships for their squadrons. Created as part of the Masters of Flight series in conjunction with the Flight Sim Arena Commander, the Wildfire pays tribute to famed pilot Aria Riley for her distinguished service with the legendary Squadron 42. This Hornet comes equipped with her own personally selected loadout, preferences, and a custom special edition livery honoring her iconic ship. The closest to the military loadout, as is legally possible for a civilian model, the F7CM Super Hornet reattaches the ball turret and offers near mil-spec parts under the hood, proving that 2 heads are better than 1. A second seat has been added to split the logistic and combat duty, making the Super Hornet a truly terrifying mark to engage. Designed for pilots whose true love is the pulse-pounding thrill of a harrowing dogfight, Anvil's limited edition Heartseeker is the one for true combat diehards. Loaded with top-of-the-line near-military spec components and 4 imposing bearing laser cannons, this fierce eradicator hones the legendary combat proficiency of the Super Hornet to give you the ultimate edge in space combat. And last but not least, our F7A, the UEE Navy's premier carrier-based fighting craft. The F7A is the front-line attack ship for military combat missions. While not outfitted for long-range runs, the Hornet can take her share of hits and dish out a consistent, powerful response. Whew, that was a lot. It's too many combat ships.
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
For measurements, the F7C, the Ghost, the Tracker, and the Wildfire all have the same length, 22.5, beam 21.5, height 6.5. For measurements, the Super and the Heartseeker both have the same length, 25.5, beam 24, height 6.5. The F7A length is 22.5, beam 22, and height 7. All Hornets are small size. For crew, the F7C, the Ghost, the Tracker, the Wildfire, and F7A all have the same 1 minimum and 1 maximum. For crew, the Super and the Heartseeker both have the same 1 minimum and 2 maximum. All Hornets carry 0 SCU except for the F7C, which carries 2 SCU. Every Hornet variant except the F7A has a top SCM speed of 192 and max speed of 1229. That speed is above average overall as of patch 3.22 and slightly above average for the small class of ships. The F7A SCM is unknown, but I would expect it to have about similar speed. For maneuverability, all of these ships are more of the same. It's an above average ship overall as of 3.22, but as far as the small class of ships, it's slightly above average. For weapons, the F7C, the Super, the Ghost, the Tracker, and the Wildfire all have 2 size 3 weapon hardpoints, 2 size 2 missile racks, 2 size 3 missile racks, and an empty size 1 dual remote turret. The Wildfire adds 1 size 2 dual remote turret. The Super does the same and replaces the size 1 remote turret with a size 2 dual remote turret. The Heartseeker has 1 size 4 weapon hardpoint and 3 size 3 weapon hardpoints, 2 size 2 missile racks, and 2 size 3 missile racks. The F7A has 1 size 4 weapon hardpoint, 1 size 4 dual remote turret, 1 size 3 dual remote turret, and 1 size 3 missile rack. For ship parts, all the Hornets have the same parts: 1 small radar, 1 small computer, 1 small power plant, 2 small coolers, 2 small shield generators, 2 small fuel intakes, 2 small fuel tanks, 1 small quantum drive, 1 small jump module, and small quantum fuel tank. The F7A, however, is listed as having only 1 of each part, but my guess is when it releases, it will have the same number of parts as the rest of the Hornets. The hull HP for the F7C, the Ghost, the Tracker, and the Wildfire is 22,380, which is above average overall. However, they are all top 10 within the small class. The hull HP for the Super and Heartseeker is 22,460, which is in the same class as the rest, and really odd to the point where I wonder why they added so little. The F7A hull HP is unknown. The shields on the F7C and Wildfire are the Web series, which are bubble type shields. The shield pool is about 1500 per shield and it regens at about 275 HP per second. The shields on the Ghost are the Shimmer series with the same stats. The shields on the Tracker are the Targa series with the same stats. The shields on the Ghost are the Web series as well, same stats. The shields on the Super are the All-Stop series with the same stats. The shields on the Heartseeker, however, are the Force Wall series, which are bubble type shields. The shield pool is about 1650 per shield and it regens at about 303 HP per second. Some special features for these ships are, well, all Hornets have a utility slot, allowing for a bit of modularity, except the Super. The F7C has 2 SCU of storage. The Ghost has low emissions components to make it a more stealthy fighter, along with that specialized armor to make it a little bit more stealthy. The Tracker has better radar components to track things like the Ghost. It also adds 2 scanners in the utility slot. The Wildfire has a better weapons loadout than the F7C, Ghost, and Tracker, with the addition of a size 2 remote turret. It also comes with the same extra weapon mount as the Heartseeker, which I'll talk about in just a bit. The Super has the same weapons as the Wildfire, but it comes standard with the size 2 remote turret already filled, whereas this is an empty slot on other variants. The Heartseeker does away with the turrets in favor of adding 2 extra size 3 weapon hardpoints and a size 5 weapon mount. Yeah, you heard that right, a size 5. However, from what I can find, it looks like all variants are compatible with this mount. It simply comes standard with the Wildfire and the Heartseeker. So we'll have to wait until the hardpoint size rework is complete to verify. But from what I've seen, you can just purchase it and put it right on the ship. The F7A has no utility mount, but increases the size of 1 weapon hardpoint to size 4 and the size of 1 remote turret to size 4. A quick note before my rating. You can steal the F7A and fly it in-game by doing a bunch of bounty missions until you get the Eckhart mission, taking a single seat fighter with an easy exit. Then once you arrive, you EVA out of your ship and shoot the pilot with a handheld weapon, at which point you'll be able to enter the F7A. One of my favorite YouTubers, Lawless Baron, they're up on screen here, has a very cool video on it. Also, if you just want the weapons and not the ship, which are incredible DPS weapons, you can just soft def the ship and take them off with a handheld tractor beam. A YouTuber I found by the name of Min also up on the screen, has a great video on it. Now it's time to rate this ship. A rating I rate from 1 to 10. My 1 is only buy if you have a unique reason that is specific to you or because you like the looks of the ship. My 10 is basically if you have the money, this ship is almost guaranteed to be useful to you in the game. A 1 doesn't mean the ship is useless or ugly, and a 10 doesn't mean the ship is perfect. Just remember, this is just our rating. Please give us yours in the comments down below and we will respond like we always do. We're pretty protective over here.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers.
My rating for this ship is of course going to be handed out based on which variant we're looking at. The F7C is a 5, the Ghost a 4, the Tracker a 4, the Wildfire a 4, the Super a 4, the Heartseeker a 4, and the F7A a 5. Let me start with why these are so low. Price. The Origin 325A is seemingly better than all the non-super variants at nearly half the price, carries cargo, and has a bed. Also, the rest of the 300 series lineup just about the same because of how cheap they are. The F7C is a 5 because it can carry 2 SCU of cargo and still packs a bit of a punch while remaining somewhat lower cost. I think of this as a nice advanced starter for smuggling, delivery, and low-level bounty hunting. 2 equal pilots might see the F7C win over a 325A, but that's a huge maybe. The 325A seems like the slightly better or at least equal ship for $40 less. The Ghost is a 4 because it's an odd one, because it allows for stealth, but only because it has more stealthy parts included. Most of those though you could put on other Hornets. This is a buy for the skin type of ship or for that special armor. If it comes equipped with more long-range weapons or torps, it makes a lot more sense, but it doesn't. Again, I would rather have the 325A for nearly half the price. Then spend that money on parts to make it stealthier and paint it black. However, once stealth gameplay comes online in full, we may see more use for stealth-built ships. The Tracker is a 4 and also a weird one. It has almost the same components as the 315P and is more than twice the price. Not to mention the 315P adds 12 SCU and a tractor beam, so I'm not sure why I would get the Tracker instead. If I needed better weapons, again, the 325A exists for exactly half the price. Perhaps maybe these Hornets will get armor and make that the difference maker, but for now I don't see it. The Wildfire is the first Hornet to compete with the 325A, but for a price of $105 more, ask yourself if the Wildfire is worth 2 325As with upgraded weapons and change to spare. The Super, on the other hand, legitimately outclasses the 325A, but again, the price knocks it down. It simply fills an empty turret slot on the Wildfire and you pay an extra $5 for the privilege. Still taking the 325A, but even if I didn't want to at this price, now much better ships are available, like the Saber and the Kar-2-All. The Heartseeker is the best one of the bunch, but again, price is the issue because I still haven't mentioned the ship that puts all of these to shame. I waited for this exact moment. The Cutlass Black, and heck, even better, the Cutlass Red. The Black does everything all of the Hornets can do as far as fighting, fits cargo, and fits a vehicle. Also, it has a tractor beam. The Red has less weapons, but we all know how great having a med bed is, even if it's a tier 3. Not to mention, both allow you to bring a few friends and save $60+. The price is what hurts most of these ships, not the quality of the ship. The quality of the ship is good. They are above average fighters, so if literally all you want to do is fight, then getting these is okay, especially if you get these in game. I've never seen a more get it in game ship than with the Hornet, because if you get these ships in game, all of a sudden those prices don't sound as crazy. But there are simply better options if you're paying outside of the game, and these options are available regardless of what you want to do. I will say this. The Super is one of the ships getting master modes first, and you can test it out in experimental modes when it's available. So there's something. I just want to be clear, I don't dislike the Hornet series. I actually like it, especially if you purchase it in game. But the prices are just baffling to me outside of the game. And maybe it's because they're some of the first ships that were made in Star Citizen. If these ships were even just 40% less, they would be 6s and 7s. Also, I want to clarify, I know that the 325 has way less armor and way less hull HP. However, it's still a great fighter, especially for that price. And if you need more armor, my argument is get the Cutlass Black. It's going to have better armor than both of them. The main reason to get this ship is if you need the armor of the Cutlass Black, but you need the size of something a little bit smaller. Or The main reason to get any of these ships is if you can't decide what role you want on your fighter and that's all you want to do is fight. You can swap out weapons and turrets and utility mounts like nobody's business. I would get the regular Hornet and upgrade it accordingly in game because it's the only one close to having a decent price. I will also say the Hornet is smaller, so it may fit into some tighter spaces and be a smaller target, but I just haven't seen that be as relevant in relation to the ships I've mentioned that compete with it. For me, these are all earn in game. My rating aside, buy whatever ship you want. It's your game. If you love this ship that much, go get it. Don't let us stop you, or better yet, buy all of them in game. Like I said, this is just what we think. All right, thanks for spending your time with us. That's it for this one. Peace.